look at all the features we need to carry out in this module. It's vendor related, so we're going to see the end-to-end business transaction for vendors. We look at how you do configuration for tax. Look at access sequence, condition tables, condition types. All those VAT you see that they apply to invoices, those configurations have already been done at the back. So
okay,
that's how this works. Now we have assets accounting, like an org structure. This is very, I think in my certification, I had asset accounting was my the sweetest part. It's just that recently I've not really had a lot of time with it. I want it with SAP is that it's a module that you have more time with, is the one you get familiar with. But we'll look at how the company manages their fixed assets, how all these technologies, look at it and explain them. Look at the asset master data. How do you create assets? How do you acquire assets? How do you sell assets? How do you acquire company? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now we go to manage.
Sorry, when we're done, I'll be able to take the, what is it called? Take the FICO certification
exam. Yeah.
Which one is the what is it called? Like the is the entry level?
Yeah, what you want to do now is the entry level for consulting. Okay, entry level for consulting. Basically, as a consultant, you will need to go through these back end courses because they are configuration based. You need to go through the back to understand those features. Hello, sorry. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm coming, sir. I'm in a meeting, sir. Just a few minutes. Okay, you need to understand the back end of SAP. We call it end to end. So from the configuration to the last end user function, you need to understand those processes, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Now, when you understand the process, then you can go and take the certification exam as a consultant. So if you don't understand the configurations, there's no way you can understand SAP entirety. I think so. I will encourage you. I will support you. If you can go through the whole program, practice, then you can. Why not? I don't know how many. I think it's $550.
They said it's about that. They said the companies are supposed to pay for it, or they usually pay for it, right?
Yeah, some.
I don't have to. Some. Okay.
I don't know whether mine was personal.
Okay.
When I did my SAP, I spent over $1 million trying to do that.
You spent out of pocket?
Yes, of course.
Why now? They say company pay for it. That's what everybody's telling me. I actually have 2 people that I know that have taken like the entry level, and they passed it, and their companies paid for it. They said just send it to your boss.
Okay, that's entry level.
Associate.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Of course, if you're in a good company now, and they do certification, why not? They will pay for it. But we're in Nigeria. Nobody's looking at paying for anything for you.
Okay.
They're looking at you coming with what you have.
Okay.
So even if they certify you here in Nigeria, it will be for maybe one module like ARO or AP.
Oh, wow.
Because they know if you carry all those things, you will run the next day. And no company says it's not in a company. It's because you're a consultant and you can be running around all the modules. In a company, you can only do maybe one part, maybe ARO or AP or GL.
But how do you do only one part? That would have been better for me. All these different tickets, different every day.
Yeah, that one part is well, that's why I said because you're in a consulting firm.
Is it project implementation that you do that one part or what?
See, actually, there are two. There are in consulting. We have the super users, right?
Mhm.
We have the consultants.
Mhm.
Now, basically, if you're an expert in a module, like let's say AR, you're a super user in that module. But a super user might not understand configuration. So, so most times in companies, what we have are those people who are good in a particular module are super users. But for you to be a consultant, you must go through all the modules. And your exams is actually based on the modules, module by module. Are you there?
Oh, I'm here. Sorry, I
Okay.
was muted. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so it's, if you were in a company, they would have really fixed you because you cannot do all the work is many.
Mhm.
They would have maybe made you an AP consultant or an AI consultant.
Oh, is that how it works? Like an AP, is
Yeah,
it
you can,
consultant, production
yeah,
support consultant or what?
yeah. ARO, GL, GL is even the most popular.
Okay.
This kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So that's actually how it works. That's how it works. Okay, so we'll look at these areas. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, so the next is controlling, right? Controlling is the management accounting side, which is the side that
Mhm.
is a little bit more, of course, anytime you see management accounting, it's always not straight as finance. So we're going to look at how CO and FI relate, how they speak to each other, the elements in controlling, um, things like product costing, internal orders. We'll look at these concepts. Now, this is the fee I charge. See, you're seeing it.
Mhm.
Mhm. So we'll see how we're going to finish up this program. I doubt if we can do this within 6 weeks. This is for crash courses. But why not? But I'm sure you that if you take it seriously, when you are done, you should be able to prepare yourself for the certification
Mhm.
and add value to your CV to help to go a long way.
Mhm.
See, person they find me for US. Why is it that I want to ask? Why is it that they don't sponsor visa, something sponsor permit or something?
Oh, they do. Okay, my sister is a pharmacist. I have a sister in the UK. She's a pharmacist. She's also asking the same question. But they do. I know for pharmacists, because she's taking an exam right now.
Okay.
You have to do your research online. She has. She was telling me about one pharmacy here that is willing to sponsor her for internship, but it's paid internship.
Okay.
So for SAP, I don't know. I'm brand new in this field, so I don't know how it works. They have a lot of Indians here who are into stuff like that. That's their job here. So, and when Trump was the president, I think they let a lot of people in with that's what it's called, ZF1 visa. that sponsorship work permit visa. But after Trump left, I think they closed that. They stopped. I think they have. I'm not sure. They stopped F1 visas. So I actually don't know because this is brand new. But I do know for pharmacists, definitely they're
and doctors.
they are sponsoring internship to come here. And
Yeah,
work.
they do. I think it's just like there's a guy that reached out to me. I think it's just company based. If company can give you work permit, really. I mean, I don't know why it's always an issue. It's not, as long as you can sponsor your trip.
Oh, okay.
As long as you can find your way to the US.
Yeah, I do know that when you're applying to jobs, they ask you, they want you. I don't even know why they don't do that. I mean, I think it maybe depends on the government policy at the time. I don't know. I honestly don't know how it works. But I know they ask you, are you a permanent resident or are you
if you have
going to be on F1? I think F1 status or something like that.
One just asked me now if I have rights to work in the US.
Stuff like that.
Like he said, are you authorized to work in US?
Yes.
So most likely.
And then you ask, no, but can you sponsor me? Are you guys doing sponsorship at this time?
He said,
you asking that? Yeah.
Of course,
I'm very good. I'm very, very good. Don't worry.
He said, I'm sorry, we only have availability for those who can work from the US. But I will update. Okay, no, first he said, I'm sorry, the client is willing to sponsor, is not willing to sponsor at the moment. I will update you if anything changes. So I now said, okay.
So maybe it costs them something.
I don't know what permit shouldn't cost. What permit should
Yeah, you can look it up. I actually don't know how it works, but I want to believe. I want to believe it costs them something.
I think. Policy. Yeah. I think part of the issue might be the government might want you to provide accommodation and something for that staff.
Okay.
Maybe for a period, and it's that cost they are avoiding. But some will go ahead to tell you we can give you work permit. However, you will pay in advance for your accommodation to the company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So get accommodation for you. It's paid. So you pay for it. They'll use that to once you come in, they already have your accommodation. Or some will go ahead to give you a contract where you sign that after working you'll be remitting back for this expense.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
A lot of my friends have left. True.
I know they said during Trump's time, a lot of people came in from India, came into the US during Trump. With that F1 status. Well, I think they said they either limited it, restricted it.
They didn't give Nigerians. There were just few countries that they gave that.
Yeah.
Nigerians with Japan once they enter.
Oh, okay.
They were protesting in Abuja. They want to go to Ukraine and fight Russia.
Oh, seriously?
Nigerians don't get joy.
See how it goes. I have too much things in mind to worry about what's going on with those two countries, Jerry.
Sorry. Okay, so I'll send you this. Then we're going to start. We're going to start by, I don't know if I'm going to use my ECC because this one, if I create anything new now, they will just go and be canceling it. So let me just use this one and show you. So we're going to start with SPRO. Go to SAP reference ING. That's where all the configurations are done. And remember the last time we talked about transport, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't even done that transport. Oh yes.
Yeah, anything we are creating new here, you can transport to another company code. So if we're done with the configuration, you can now transport it. Because what are you transporting? You're transporting customization. So this is where the big journey starts. It starts with the enterprise structure. Then you can go to definition. Then this is our module. These two. You can see logistics, sales and distribution, material management, plant maintenance, human, blah, 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 blah. So ours is finance and controlling. So if you go to finance, you have all these configurations to do. Right? I will just do a test here, right? I'll do a test. You can follow me through, but in our next class, I'm going to use my own ECC. I won't use
Okay.
this because anything I create here, this is Deloitte's database. Anything I create, they will still go and delete it.
Mhm.
So let me just take you through I'll send you this now.
Mhm.
Send you this now. Go to my email. So are you enjoying the technology part
Technology part of what?
of your job of accounting?
Oh, what do you mean? The SAP work?
Yes.
Mm. What can I say? One day at a time. I just I don't know. We'll see how it's one day at a time, Jerry.
Yes, sir, yes.
It's one day at a time. So if you want to change your career, you have to be patient.
Very, very patient.
Yes, because
I
accounting is what I'm
used,
used to. But
yeah,
you gotta be patient. I want to switch this. This one makes more sense financially. So I have to be patient. That's all. I'm trying my best.
yeah, you're doing well. Fine.
Yes, you go. Yes, you go.
Okay, so let's start. After this, in our next class, I'm going to repeat this step. Or,
Okay,
or
good.
I'll just
Okay,
do it from my end and I'll know where you stopped.
okay.
So the first thing we're going to do today is to look at the enterprise structure,
Enterprise
right?
structure. Okay.
Yes. Let me see before we introduce, let me check if I can do a brief introduction to SAP.
Mm-hmm. 01. Okay.
So we need to go through this introductory course first before we even go into configuration so you understand some basics. Just a second, sir. Just a second. Just give me a minute.
Mm-hmm. Baby Bumble. What's the matter? Hmm?
Are you back?
Yeah, it would be George.
Are you there? Hello? Yes. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, are you there?
I'm here. Oh.
Okay, are you back?
Yes, I'm here. I've been waiting for you.
Sorry. I came and shouted. You were not there. So let me go and
Okay.
Okay, so now let's look at the introductory, just basic introduction, so you understand the background from where SAP is coming from. We have 30 minutes to do this. Okay, so what's the aim of this course? The course is FI, of course, with CEO as basics. The tutorial provides a basic understanding of the, of course, SAP. So the purpose of this is to introduce you to SAP officially. I know you have been trained, but this is just to take you through the basics to understand the core. Of course, this tutorial is for basically those who want to go into providing solutions, consulting, and of course, supporting businesses. For you to be able to, of course, for you to be successful in FICU, you must just have that basic accounting knowledge. You must know how to use a computer. Then you must understand business processes. That's very important. Now let's look at the evolution of SAP. Now SAP was founded nearly 40 years ago in Germany by a group of some IBM engineers. So basically, before SAP, business processes were happening in different parts. So just imagine that as big as Shell is, accounts payable is managed by one software. Procurement is managed by another software. Sales is managed by another software, just like that.
Yeah.
So what ERP does, or what ERP actually, the function of ERP is to bring together all these various modules to be able to manage so that they can speak to each other and help the business make very important decisions. So when they say SAP is an ERP, it means enterprise resource planning. Okay, so if you break that down, basically what it means is that you have an enterprise, which is a business, and that business has activities. Resource is both human and capital resources available for that business to carry out its activities. Then planning is to be able to bring both enterprise and resources together in order to, in order to manage business operations in such a way that each of the various business units are interrelated, or they are connected together, so that the person in can know what can actually see data from the person in CO. Just that integrations between the various modules. Okay, so the idea was to help replace 10 or 15 different business applications. Okay, so basically they were different modules just operating in different areas. Bring them into one single integrated system. SAP was founded in 1972 in Waldorf, Germany. It stands for System, Application, and Product in Data Processing. Now, over the years, it has grown and evolved to become the world's premier provider of client or server business solutions, for which is known for today. The SAP RO3 Enterprise Application Suites are open client server systems. Of course, basically what it's trying to say is that SAP has also evolved in the versions and in the modules. You're going to see that evolution as we go on. Of course, the in thing now is S4HANA.
Yeah, what is this R3? Sorry, what is this SAP R3?
RO3 is the ERP. RO3 is the database. It's S4 HANA is a database, Aru3 is a database. That's
Oh,
where
what about
the
ECC
SAP,
then?
ACC is also a database.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's where your SAP actually runs on. So you see that interface you see when you log in, that's the presentation layer. So when we go into details, you're going to see the different structure that make up what that software you call SAP is. So, but Aru3 was actually the application or the server for which SAP ECC was running on. So you have Aru3 and ECC. Aru3 is the server, ECC is the application layer. You have HANA and S4. HANA is the database. S4 is the application layer. Where, of course, where we know we use the app called Fiori. But HANA is basically a cloud-based solution although you can still run it on site.
Okay.
So of course, SAP is a world leader in enterprise applications. Well, I think I checked last, they are actually in terms of generally, they are the third. I think they are behind with Microsoft and one other application like that. Based on market capitalization, it is the third largest software independent. It is the third largest independent software manufacturer, supporting all sizes of industries. Because SAP is very vast.
You said it's the third largest?
It's the third largest independent software manufacturer.
So who is the first and second?
Microsoft in terms of market share is the first, of course. I think NetSuite, I don't know who is the second. I know Oracle is the fourth. Second, so it's based on money, based on funds.
Okay.
Because Microsoft has been there for a long time. SAP products are considered excellent, but not perfect. The main problems with software products is that it can never be perfect. The main advantage of using SAP as your company ERP is that SAP has a very high level of integration among its individual applications. Now, if you bring, I've seen Microsoft Navision, I've seen Oracle. SAP, in terms of function, that's why most companies use it. In terms of functionality, it is the number one in the world. And now the thing is, the integration. SAP has a lot of modules, a lot. In fact, there are some you have not even had. There are some I don't even know what they are. It has a lot of modules. So, but depending on what the organization wants to achieve. But the beauty is that all these modules, they did it in such a way that they can integrate together. So let's say I am doing something in materials management. There is an integration between MM and FI such that, of course, in accounting, GL is the prime book of account. So everything has to fit to GL if it actually will have financial impact, if it will affect the books. So GL is a major integration point between FI and all these other modules. So for SAP to design a system where these things could speak to each other, it's when you as a consultant, that's the fancy, that's the beauty of SAP.
What's the beauty of SAP again?
When you understand the integration, how SAP works with other modules. And how the system speak, how it relates with other modules. It's just it's wonderful. I mean, they built a very robust system. Another beauty about SAP is that which made it stand out among other ERPs is that when you procure an SAP, it already has business. It has a default business process already existing in the system. It has an already, now let's say, for example, I mean, manufacturing industry, I procure SAP. In SAP, there is a company there you can copy the same setting from to create your own.
Oh,
So you don't have to start from scratch like other softwares.
okay.
So you have prototypes for virtually any business you can think of. Medical, agriculture, finance, you know, think of it. They have solutions for almost all the industries in the world.
Mhm.
So the beauty is that when you want to start, when we do our configuration, you are going to see that some features we might be copying, you won't be able to create, because if you want to create those things, you spend a lot of time and you will encounter a lot of errors. So
Okay.
we are always advised to copy settings that are already existing, and the ones we need to create new, we can create new for ourselves. Okay, so standard SAP project system. So what it means is that when you talk about SAP and SAP projects, it talks about a client who have integrated interest to use SAP, and what are the various projects or the various layers, or what are the various systems in place for before you can actually go live and start using SAP.
Okay.
So of course, SAP has three very popular environments which you're already familiar with. We have the development environment, we have the quality assurance, and we have the pro. Okay.
Mhm.
The development system is where most of the implementation work takes place. So when we are doing testing, you are trying to build the system, you're trying to arrange everything, you're getting requirements from the business, getting all their specifications. All those builds happen in the dev system. When you're done with the dev system, you have to move into quality for testing.
Mhm.
So the quality assurance system is where all the final testing is conducted before moving are you saying the transport?
Mhm.
Before moving the transport to the production environment.
I think I've asked you this before. Have you moved the transport before from QA to production, or from dev to QA?
Yes, now it's exactly what I was showing you the other time.
Oh, okay. Because I'm
But
supposed
what
to
you're
still move
moving
my.
is, like I told you, what you're moving is customized, it's implementation, it's
Yeah,
not,
it's a configuration. Yeah,
yes,
I changed in OBYA. That one is still
yes,
pending to do.
yes, you're
Yeah.
moving
Mhm.
configurations.
Yeah.
Okay, so the production system is where all the daily activities occur. There's
Mhm.
also the client that all the end users use to perform their daily job. So a production system is a client. All these other systems have their clients.
Yeah.
So during your, of course, when the project starts, you're going to be giving your client from where you start. You can log into and access SAP. To all companies, the production system should only contain transports that have passed all the tests. So you can actually not move from development to QA. You have to go through quality assurance. You have to go through tests. Very, very important. Okay, so what is a client? I've been hearing about client. A client is a unique organizational structure. Can have, and of course, it can have more than one company code. Each company code is its own legal entity in finance. So company code is a finance activity. In fact, you cannot build any module except you have built finance. No module can work without finance.
Mhm.
That's how
Right.
important the FICA consultant is. For example, the project we're doing for Jobna, for like Sarah and the group,
Mhm.
everybody was just saying, finance has not done, we're not done with chart of account because everything is ledger.
Mhm.
The life of finance is the ledgers. So we had issues with, there was some delay in charting the accounts and getting requirements. A lot of, manufacturing is
Oh
a
my
very
gosh. Sorry. Can I
complex.
please give me like a minute, please? I'll be right back, please.
Okay.
1 minute. Thank you. Hello? Hello? Sorry about that.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so basically, in the highest hierarchy in SAP is the client. Everything goes under the client. The company code goes under the client. Every other object goes under the company code, and some at the company code level. Okay, so of course, immediately after you understand your client, the next thing is to understand your customizations and your configuration. Remember, that's the core of being a consultant. Configuration, what's the difference between the two? Of course, configuration will configure the system to meet the needs of your business by using existing data. Customizing will customize or adapt the system to your business requirements, which is the process of mapping SAP to your business process. So configuration is to get the system working. Customization is maybe you need a particular report in a particular way, right? Or you need a particular form in a particular way that can be customized. Right? Okay, you can see my screen well, Abby?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so for now, we're looking at the ECC, which is the RO3 system, which is the server that the ECC actually sits on. Sorry. Okay, we know that RO3 is a software, and it is because it's a client server of ECC. This means that the group or the layers that make up an RO3 system are designed to run simultaneously across several separate computers. What does it mean? I've told you we have 3 layers, which is the development, QA, and prod, right? Are you there? Hello? 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 You're mute. Are you there? Hi.
Hello, I could hear you now. You couldn't hear me.
Yes, I couldn't hear you.
Send you a text that I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the RO3, which we say is the server, houses the 3 different layers, which is dev, QA, and prod.
Okay.
Okay, so just as you have Microsoft, just as you have Office and Word sitting on your Windows 10 or Windows 7, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is with SAP. RO3 is the Windows 10. ECC.
Sorry. Oh, okay. I was going to ask you. You keep saying R3. Or I mean, the latest is ACC and S4, right?
No. RO3 is the, just understand me, RO3 is the Windows 10.
Okay.
ECC is what sits on Windows 10. ECC is what sits on RO3.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you only have one RO3, but you have different versions of ECC. ECC is just the presentation layer, is what you see.
Oh.
RO3
so the ECC sits on R3, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just as Microsoft Word sits on your Office, on your Microsoft Office, your Windows 10 or Windows 8. You know, without Windows, you can't put any Microsoft application on it.
Okay.
If you buy a blank laptop without Windows, nothing can run on it.
Yeah.
That's how without RO3, ECC cannot run.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So in our currently we have HANA and S4, right?
Yeah.
HANA is like RO3. S4 is like the presentation layer, which also comes with Fiori.
Okay.
So HANA is the database, while S4 is a particular version.
Okay.
So I will have,
What is the presentation layer for ECC?
ECC is the presentation layer.
Oh,
That's why you have different versions. You have EHP7, EHP6, EHP7, EHP8, just like that.
okay.
Those are different versions.
Mhm.
Just as you have different versions of Microsoft Office, Office 10, Office 9, Office 7, just like that.
Okay.
So just know that ECC is the presentation, is what you see when you log in.
So sorry, just so I understand. So ECC is the presentation layer.
Yes.
For what? For R3?
For R3, yes.
And S4 is the presentation layer for S4?
For HANA.
Sorry, for HANA? Oh,
Yes.
for HANA. So HANA is like R3?
Yes, HANA is database.
What is Fiori then?
Fiori is an app that can help you access HANA anywhere. It's also a presentation layer, but it's just like an app. You can still use SAP without it.
Okay.
You can use your S4 without your Fiori. It's just that there are some applications that you need Fiori to access. So it's just if you want to put SAP S4 in your phone now, you can use it. What you will use is the Fiori app.
Okay.
So you can actually be on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're going to go to what is ECC now, because that's the right.
Yeah.
Okay, ECC is a version of SAP. So that's what I was telling you. We have different versions.
ECC, okay.
So we have EHP6 of 1.7, EHP 4.8, EHP6, EHP7, just like that. These 4.6, 4.6C, these were older versions. So you see these are series of new versions in ECC6. So we have ECC EHP6, ECC EHP7, just like that. All these ECCs, all these versions, they sit on R3.
Okay.
Okay, so SAP at a glance. SAP is a known worldwide, of course, it's a worldwide, so it's a skill that connects you around the world. I remember when I first got my call from Accenture. Accenture is like the world #1 SAP provider. I was very, very excited. They called me from Germany. And my exposure to SAP has given me a world view. So that's why I was also, when I discuss with my colleagues, I tell them that there are some applications that just, for example, if you're a data analyst now, if you know AI or machine learning, it's a world required skill.
Right.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So there are skills that give you that global access.
Yes. True.
I've met a lot of people online, even meeting you, right? I mean, yeah.
Can I ask you though, how what made you what kindled your interest in SAP? Like, how did you get exposed to it?
Oh, okay. Now, before SAP, when I was graduating from school, I knew I wanted to do accounting, but I knew the accounting I wanted to do was not sitting down, was not sitting on the table and doing one thing all over and over again.
Okay.
So, I was thinking, because they didn't expose us to these things in Nigerian schools, of course. We didn't know anything about software. Okay. So when I went for my first, maybe I graduated from school, and after service, I went for my first interview, and they were like, "Do you know QuickBooks?" Okay. I said, "What is QuickBooks?" So they now explained that it's a software that they use to manage business. I said, "Oh, okay." So that was when I now realized that thing that was missing is actually using softwares to support businesses.
Okay.
So that's my greatest. That's like my greatest desire, basically. So I first of all went to do a training on Sage. So that's when I really knew that this is what I wanted to do. So I started with training. I have trained, I can't remember the number of people I've trained. So sometimes I get, for these other smaller ones, I get calls to come and do implementation. So I did Sage, I did QuickBooks, I did Tally, I was a consultant, I did Sage One Cloud. I am a consultant in these 4 softwares, basically. But so I knew that my first contact with SAP was when I wanted to apply for a job on WhatsApp. They now said that hey, you must be an SAP consultant or a super user, something like that. So I now went online, I was reading about SAP. Well, SAP is basically what I do, but what I do is at a small level. That was years back. So I now made inquiries. The cost was crazy. Like in Nigeria then, 2012, 11, 13, 14, to learn an SAP, to be a consultant, you have to cough out like 350,000. It was a hot cake then because it was around that time, Total, Ajib, and Shell. It was around that 2000 and early or late 2000 that most of them actually started running on SAP fully.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was the skill was crazy. And people who did it then, of course, they have all left the country. Like basically, those guys are not here. The ones that are here just trying to manage. So I tried. So I think also I decided to save because, like you said, there was no company here that will train you. Everybody here, you have to go and learn it somehow or join one of these consulting firms. Of course, those things were not easy. Then I don't think SAP was having this their free. SAP now has this their, what do they call it now? It's like a program where they try to raise young YPP, young something in SAP. Then it wasn't, I didn't know, but I was not previous. But when I looked at the application first, the first day I got it installed on my system, I was thrilled. Like I'd already known other softwares, smaller ones, but if you pick Sage, Sage does SD, FI inside the small package. Like you can do inventory, you can do small things. But I now realized that in bigger organizations, these things are very robust. So I was thrilled how SAP was able to divide, to stretch out from that small software, stretch out different modules and build it and put them together. So, so when I did my certification, I have 5 certifications in SAP. When I did my certification, I did FI, I did SD, I did I did CO, and I did ECC. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yes. So
You're a hot cake. You're a big dog.
Yeah, so we are praying. We are praying. So I have those certifications. And the thing gave me a wider view about SAP because I didn't want to just stop at FI because I was coming from the background I was coming from. I needed to understand the business process from other modules. I wanted to know how FI related with MM. So now I do trainings for MM and SD, and I mean, it feels good.
Okay.
How all these things work. So for me, it's the inquisitiveness, the curiosity about how ERPs work. So I think I'm that kind. That's what. I didn't just. Wow. Yeah, that's really what thrills me. I'm a technology person, basically. Okay. So that's how my job. But I think mine was very, very. I knew this is what I wanted to do, so I just kept moving towards that direction. Well, I had some working experience working as an accountant, but if you employ me as an accountant in your company, I must use a software.
But
So
they use softwares now. I don't know how they do it in
most
Nigeria,
of
but I
them
would
in Port
assume they do.
Harcourt. No,
Uh-huh.
for where? All the companies I work with, apart from one, I think I did I worked for about 3 or 4 places. I had to introduce the software myself.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
So what do they use? QuickBooks? Or they don't
Excel.
use any software?
They're
Are
using
you kidding?
Excel.
Oh
The
my gosh.
auditors go mad.
Oh
So,
my
and that
gosh.
was my selling point anyway. I will
Yes,
tell
absolutely.
you if I come in there, I'm going to automate your department. And I'll be like, oh,
Absolutely.
how are we going to do this? Well, let's see.
Ah, even in Excel, you can automate a lot of things. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
automating things, even in Excel as well.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can do a lot of things in Excel, but definitely not manage your company data
No,
in
no, no,
Excel.
no.
That's very
Excel is
inefficient.
you're going
Oh
to
my gosh.
it's going to be like, for example, my wife it was working with KPMG. If you see the
Mhm.
volume of sheets, the volume of cell, the volume of sheets that are linked together, just capturing up. And if
Oh
one, she
gosh.
can be working on one. If she makes mistake, it will affect
It's
like
going to affect the next whole.
hundreds of sheets.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely
Uh,
not.
I know they have an auditing software, but I don't know why they just decide to make the whole work very tedious. So
Okay.
once I'm coming, I'm telling you this is what I'm going to do. So,
And they pay in Nigeria, they pay SAP consultants more than they pay accountants.
of course, now.
Of course.
Without them, how are you going to run your? Well, what are you going to be doing?
What are you going to do?
For example, here that I'm working now, I visit the accounts department. You know, they are very jealous because my pay might be up to 2 times what they earn.
Oh, no
Yeah,
kidding.
so
Yeah.
they see it now, like they pay you, so they see it.
That's the selling point here too. That's exactly why I'm switching careers because I've been in
Yeah.
accounting for 14 years,
Wow.
nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, and the pay is just ridiculous. They're still calling you for rubbish pay. So, and when they introduced it was actually my sister who introduced SAP to me. Our trainer told me, he said, look, you're going to make double what's, if you face this SAP, just keep at it. You end up making double what accountants make.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like accountants make rubbish pay. I'm like, hello, I'm still an accountant. But yes, but you're right. Basically, it's double the pay here as well.
Yeah.
Double really,
So
So it makes sense financially.
it's tough because there were not even much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like most of my bosses, they have 2 projects or 2, 3 projects. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
I just got an offer to do. I'm even. I just got that last week. I'm
Mm-hmm.
expecting we just finished discussion. I'm expecting their contract. Now it's for a
Mm-hmm.
job in an international breweries,
Mm-hmm.
the makers of what do you produce, okay, Hero alcoholic drinks. Most of those Grand Malt, most of those drinks in Nigeria, the popular one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm supposed to do the UAT and train them and support them.
Okay.
And I have Deloitte.
And you have
Yeah,
that too. Yeah. So
yeah.
you have to. So you have two contracts you're gonna be working on.
Yeah, basically. That's
Man,
why
how do you do that? Oh gosh.
for Deloitte
You are a
now.
hot cake. Oh, don't leave that country. Oh. I'm telling you.
Do you know my friends in most of them in Canada, most of them in US, and some of them in Europe, most like guy just come. You go see what you go run. Their own is
No, don't listen to them. Don't you can go on vacation,
yeah.
but don't listen to them. Oh, stay in Nigeria. I'm telling you. If you actually have this kind of opportunities, like you have two contracts, you're making double what the regular accountant makes in Nigeria. You are a big dog. What are you coming here to do? You come here, you start all over. You may not start all over, but there's a lot of things here. There's
That,
bills that you got to pay.
yeah.
Yes, there's bills. There's there's
Tax,
loan. There's
heavy tax.
taxes. Thank you for somebody just told my sister was telling me, that we should better be careful. These are our SAP jobs. So I should go and calculate the taxes I'm going to pay.
Wow.
So yeah, so the moment you start making more than like 60, a particular amount, and depending on your family size, they tax you heavily. All that money, just
Wow.
give it to the government. So there
Wow.
is that high tax. And there's loneliness. You understand? You can't just come out and just greet person on the street. Nobody is greeting you. It's you and your wife and your children. That's it. That's it.
That's
You see,
why.
before you see a Nigerian, you have to go and look for a Nigerian church. And most of them don't have papers. They may not be willing to get too close to you because they don't want you to know that they don't have papers, put them in trouble. So it's a very lonely life. The only thing you get is you get unlimited power supply, and you get access to excellent roads. Take your child to go shopping. They have many candy, rubbish candy you can buy. Other than that, if you have a good job, I would advise anybody, because I have somebody very close to me who was looking for a job for a long time in Nigeria. As he was about to get his visa to come here, he got like 3 excellent job offers. One of the offers he got was to pair with this Zenith guy, the CEO. What's his name again? Like the Zenith guy came to me and said, look, be my partner. Let's start this bank. He turned it down because he wants to go to America. He wants to go to America. Well, now he's not, even to even reach that man now, man has forgotten that he was his friend. So basically I'm just saying, I mean, I know you do whatever you want to do, of course, but if you get good offers in Nigeria, I beg, you can come visit, but don't leave that place, or don't uproot everything and come here, because it's a lonely life here, I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have the thing is that the thing is that most of the SAP roles, so to speak, right? You can get good virtual roles. I'll give you an example. The guy who contacted me today is in US. The job is actually remote, but they want you to be in US.
You got to be a resident, yes.
Yeah, they want you so, and those pays are you can't compare them to what you earn here. There's no way.
Yeah, but don't forget the taxes. There's like 4 layers of taxes you pay.
I agree, but I mean, some people. I have a friend who does 2 jobs. Like the 2 gets him close to $6,500, virtually about roughly 3-4 million every month.
Naira?
Yes.
No kidding. In Nigeria?
He's in the US.
Oh, okay.
So but the thing is that these jobs are remote. He just stays in his house. Like, if you want to do 3, you just
I'm sorry.
There's lights, there's everything, the environment is conducive, you just relax. And sometimes he comes to Nigeria. He just comes to Nigeria.
I don't blame you.
He comes to Nigeria, he's in a hotel, because one of the jobs they're in Nigeria. He's with LNG. So he's supporting them. So he comes, chill out. Maybe he's go back. The problem with Nigeria is not just about the money. Okay. You can just be working security, uncertainties here and there.
I know. Tell me about it. It's crazy. And I hear there's fuel scarcity now. Is there?
That one I talk. One thing with Nigerians is that they will just go, especially in Lagos. Everybody just go.
They've gotten used to it.
Some will spend hours on the road, nothing concerned.
Gosh.
The country is crazy.
Yeah. So, I guess it's a personal preference.
Yeah, I would do a lot of remote roles, basically.
Yes, that's the truth. I mean, I have so the one I'm doing right now, of course, is 100% remote. Even my accounting work, when I was working as an accountant, it's 100% remote. So there's a lot of opportunity for remote work, as long as you can do it on the software and you're not entry level. They usually let you, but there are some that has to do a lot of client facing, like you have to travel like 80% travel roles. But if you like that kind of stuff,
like for example, this one it's you have to travel to like 6 states or so to support them. I like those kind of things.
Oh, you like the travel role? Okay, yeah.
I like travel, but so you see, like everywhere you go, there are opportunities. It's just that when you weigh certain factors. It's better I pay high tax, but if I sleep 2x open, 2x closed. And
I know.
I mean, a sane society, like a sane society where you can aspire and grow.
I hear you, Jerry. I hear you. Yes, I hear it's true.
Yeah.
But there are some people that will make the argument for Nigeria. They don't
I
want
agree.
to.
I agree.
Especially men. You see, I keep saying, when they want to come, they want to come. Once they come here, give them. They don't want to stay because all this extra respect that they get on the street for being just for being born a male, they don't get it here. You understand? Just the way they do things in Nigeria, you say, okay, I'm coming, I'm almost there. It doesn't work. A lot of things don't work here. A lot, even just getting a driver license, especially the men, it's harder for men. But you know,
yeah,
so you
yeah.
have to prepare your mind. Got a driver license for most men. I've been driving for the past 20 years now, 10 years now. What's the big deal? You come here, the women will come down and follow the process. They'll just say, what's the big deal? And then they'll fail over. And they'll be wondering, most men here, that's what they'll tell you. They took the driving test before they gave them license. Because all the grad that you get away with in Nigeria being a male, can't get away with it here. They look at you like, where are you from? You know? Yes. So a lot of them come here, and then after a few months they get homesick. They want to go. It's hard for them. But if you have a good job, like if you actually have like this SAP, you probably would not feel that way, but there's a loneliness factor.
I'll come and be going. That one is that one is certain. But at least give the
However,
children a good life.
without having to pay the 1 million naira school fees, right? I guess that's another one. That's true. That one I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that because when I came to Nigeria actually not that long ago, we paid heavily. My daughter was just, how old was she? She was 4. We paid almost $1 million for, $1 million naira for I'm like, what is she learning? ABC. Like, seriously? But apparently, I mean, the school was not like the top school, so it was just a kind of a little. My I'm like, how much do they pay in those top schools in Nigeria? Like those British curriculum schools. I'm like, wow. So, but here they go to school for free. My kids go to school for free. So,
even my in-law that they left in September. I mean, everything is free. Yeah. I have my twin brother is in UK.
Okay.
I think another thing is when you have relations that you're close to that around the head, can start bridging up that gap. At least you have
UK. I know. It'd be nice if you can. Yeah.
That's fine. See now, I got another text now. Anyway, they say I have to be, anywhere in the US. So
you have to be in the US. Oh, okay.
Or have a work permit, or have a resident. I don't know whether it's like they just want to know that you're a citizen.
You're a resident. You either have a work permit or you're a permanent resident.
Like
or you're a citizen.
I think they are scared that if they give you access to their system without having a trace of where you are or who you are, it's very risky. So, I mean, there are opportunities.
Yes, there is actually. SAP is hot cake. I won't lie. Even in the US here, at least I know, it's hot cake. It chase you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's here too. It's really here too.
My question though is it still gonna be like this 10 years from now? Because a lot of people are getting into it. Is it going to be oversaturated, or is it going to be? I mean, you're thinking, okay, when I get to retirement age, is it as I approach, as you get older, is SAP still going to be the in thing? Is it still going to be as it is?
Well, yeah, because the unique thing about it is that they just keep evolving with the support and with the services they give. There are some roles in SAP that don't even have consultants. Like there's an advert they were putting in the WhatsApp group where I am. They just kept putting nobody. There are some, maybe people will start going into other modules, but I feel that companies will keep expanding, new companies will still coming up, some will keep joining. So I feel just as life is going on and things are happening, crazy things will just keep happening. And SAP will keep building.
Okay, got it.
I think the thing is, the job is mostly in support, because once you're done with configuration, it's basically just the support guys that keep the system running.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's always going to be there. The demand will always go in this way.
The demand will be there. Okay. Okay.
But I feel one day, something else in SAP will come out. So everybody will just
but
as
whatever it is,
S4HANA.
yes, whatever it is, we latch on to it and we'll move on.
Yeah.
The new thing.
Exactly.
Because I mean, I'll be thinking, is it going to be sustainable 20 years from now?
Very sustainable. People have been in SAP 50 years.
50? But
yes. Now.
How old is SAP now? Didn't you say is how many years is SAP? You just told me now.
SAP as a that's 77.
As an ERP system.
Yes. 77 is no more than 50 years.
As I said, it's 40 something years. Okay.
72.
It's 50.
Okay, yeah, around that. I have some people who have been here for 30 years. But it's young though. It's young. But the more you stay, the more you expose yourself. That's we have experts. Some people just did a job manager.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we finish up, please, can you show me? So I want to look at the certification in SAP. Someone told me about the associates, something
Degree.
associate FICO. How do I get on the? I have an S user. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, you have an S user. Why
my
would I be familiar?
I don't know anything about it. I just know it's something.
User.
What is it exactly? Is it just the login for SAP system, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a right they give you to access resources in SAP.
Resources,
and also,
okay.
yeah, when you want to write, there are a lot of resources, a lot of learning. You have access to free trainings. There are a lot. In fact, SAP trainings there are a lot of trainings. They just keep, bringing you new stuff. You can't even follow up.
Okay. So the S user gives you access to
do your certification
to resources and certification.
Yes.
Okay, please. Because this company I'm with right now, they are annoying me with all these different work. So I want to quickly at least get that certification from them to pay it if I can.
Yeah.
At least I start studying for it. I know exactly, or let them put it in.
Don't worry. Once you finish this, I'll give you. I'll show you how we actually successfully went through our own, like almost guaranteed.
Okay. So the S user, you said it gives you access to resources and certification in SAP. And the exam, what about the exam?
No, you have to pay, but you need that S user to register.
Oh, okay.
But you pay the license fees.
Okay, so if I want to send it to, is it license fees or the exam fees?
The exam fees, of course, the exam.
It's going to be, is it under that S user? If I wanted to send a link to my boss now, so I don't know what their process is, how long they will approve it, but just to put it in their front, how do I go about that?
That you want to do the certification exam?
Yes, just to give it, just to let them know. I don't know how long.
Maybe when you finish they'll ask you if you're trained, of course. Then it's a serious thing.
It's a serious exam.
Serious, yes.
And you can pass it only once, right?
Yes, I passed mine. Although the first one I didn't pass actually. But I was close, so I knew where I was wrong.
Okay.
So, but after then I didn't. The rest 5 I passed them once.
Okay.
So I understand. The feeling helped me to really dig deeper into it. Now I understand. I just kept passing all of them after that.
Okay.
I've supported two of my students to actually go through the exam, so it's fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm hoping they can pay for it. Once they pay for it and I'm done, maybe I'll have to leave them because
you will be hot cake too now.
Yes. I may leave them because it's all these different tickets, different questions. I don't know.
It's helping you learn, but it's just helping you learn a lot of things without.
That's true.
Yeah. Me, I'm also learning. So much time researching. Also learning from what you're doing.
But it's just to me, too much researching, too much questions about things that are not really my area. And I don't.
I wish you get a more stable. It will help you learn.
Yes.
Learn it fast and well, because I'm just thinking that if they call you now for an interview as a consultant or as a super, you'll be everywhere. But one thing with SAP is that the SAP is wide. Like even this FICO is very wide. I'm not even exhausted. There are a lot of issues. So if you are not focused, if you don't pin yourself to a particular thing and follow that thing until you get to the end, then even when people won't take you seriously. Like if you check my LinkedIn profile, I don't put MM and SD.
Okay.
Because it's wide. I can't do everything. I have to just focus. one side.
Okay.
But it's just the advantage of understanding those processes. So it's wide.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, so let's look at SAP at a glance. I think next 7 minutes will be done. SAP is known as, of course, it has more than 263,000 customers in 188 countries.
Okay.
More than 68,800 employees in more than 130 countries.
Mhm.
Of course, the revenue is around 1,302 billion. Is this pounds or what? Listed under symbolic SAP at stock exchange, including Frankfurt Exchange and New York Stock Exchange.
Mhm.
So it's a very big company, very big,
Yeah.
probably a lot of countries.
Mhm.
So let's look at the industry you can get in SAP, industry solutions. So you see all the industries that SAP, professional, public sector, retails. I could even copy all of them. High tech, media, life sciences, blah, 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 blah. So they're virtually, SAP provides solution in virtually most, if not all the industries in the world. So it's large.
Okay.
That's why
awesome.
the requirement will always be there.
Okay.
Okay, so evolution, I think we're going to stop here.
Mhm.
Let's just look at how it evolved. Of course, the early phases of development, integrated solutions were designed for particular process. So what it's trying to say is that we had different parts. Like we had material management on one side, SD on another side, FI on another side. However, none of the integrated system came with a complete solution for all organizations covering major business process areas. In early 1990s, the Gartner Group first used the acronym ERP, meaning bringing all those individual units into a system. In the mid-90s, ERP system addressed all the core enterprise functions. In the early stages, most of ERP solutions were focused on automating back office functions that were not directly affecting customers and general public. Later, front office functions such as customer relationship management, e-business were integrated. So what it's trying to say is that it was just about within the office, basically about raising invoice or doing just normal office operations. There were not things like the ERP was not a thinking ERP. Things like relationship management, e-business are quite innovative and unique in their functionality. So it was later that started introducing this one. Of course, now you have SAP trying to integrate AI, machine learning into its software.
Okay.
So functions of ERP basically performs the following: supports integrated business processes, improves capital planning and helps in executing operational plans and strategies, helps speed up decision-making process, help to extend business network to wider domains, identify operational risk to improve governance, provides protection against organizational data breaches, of course, security, makes the organization adaptable to rapid change in the business process according to various needs.
Okay.
So the functional areas we have finance, we have human resource, we have CRM, sales and distribution, logistics, a lot more product PP, product planning, profitability, COPA, so many other functionalities. So we'll look at the advantages. So we're going to stop here. Next, we're going to look at the modules.
Before we do that, please. So there's a little confusion about, when you say you are an FI, is it FI CEO consultant?
Yes.
Are you saying you are a finance and controlling consultant, or that's what it is? Okay. So what is the proper thing to say if you're just the finance? Is it I'm an FI consultant?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Okay, and also can I just make a quick segue to my tickets? My tickets, they said they've come across situations where they needed to make a mass change after the invoices were entered before payments were issued. I don't know, mass change in maybe payment terms or whatever it is, or maybe she said in that interim, we need the ability to make the mass change to the vendor records and have it reflected on the payments. We are able to do this with payment type and payment method. So they are able to change payment type, mass change of payment type and payment method after the invoice entry, but before payment. So she said, so I'm asking if we can extend this same ability to payment method supplement.
That I don't think so, because well, we can try it and see if payment method supplement is optional. It's not a core functionality. That's my challenge with that.
Okay.
We can do it for those other ones, but in fact, it was not even existing in SAP. It's a new feature.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't really existing, and it's tied to all those other ones are okay, but the way the configuration happens is also tied to a functionality in FBZP. So I doubt. And payment terms, let them try it for one first. It's simple. Without you do mass is just to do along so many.
So how do they do a mass? How do they do a mass change?
You can do mass change now. The transaction code is there.
Oh.
It's just a transaction code.
Oh, to do a mass change to like the payment method?
Yeah, you select the area you want to do a mass change to.
And you select all the invoices?
No, it's on the master data, not on the invoice. So they can't do mass change in invoice.
Oh, okay. Okay, she said mass change to the vendor records. Okay, and have it reflect in the, yeah, but mass change in the vendor record and have it reflect on the payment. So you can really do that. You can change like the vendor payment type and it reflect.
So let's say, for example, they created a lot of vendors, but they didn't put payment term. So you want the system you want to change, let's say the vendor is up to 1,000 and you want that payment term to be selected in all the vendors as a feature. So you can do that at the master data level. The question is, can we do mass change for what do they call it now?
Payment method supplement.
Yes. I will check. We can, what I'm saying is that before you do mass change, do one change. Do the one change in the vendor master data. Try to see if it will reflect on the invoice, because the issue is that if you do that change on the vendor master data, it should be able to automatically update on the invoice. You understand?
Really, even after the invoice is posted?
It would have no problem. It won't work because I don't see that working actually.
No, I'm just saying not even the payment method. So I'm talking about, say, the payment.
Yeah, even after
payment method.
Yes, even after the invoice have been posted.
You can make a change to payment method.
You know why?
Because it's in the header.
Yeah, you know why? Because when you do F110, right? F110's number one priority is on the master data, not on the invoice.
Okay.
So it will work for automatic payments. It will not work for supplement because you need to supplement the priority is it should be on both master data and invoice. So let me come again. You have master data, right?
Yes.
And you have automatic payments. If you do not add payment term in the vendor account and you want to do automatic payment, the system will tell you that payment term is missing, right?
And it's not going to process it.
Yes.
You have that read.
Yes. When you go back, you can go back to your vendor master data. Remember, you have an invoice, so you have an invoice you wanted to pay, but
yes,
but that invoice might not even carry payment term.
So is there a way to make APP? Is there a way to make it also say, okay, force you to put the payment method supplement or no?
It won't, you know why it won't work?
Mhm.
In a payment method, in doing automatic payments that involve payment supplements, right?
Mhm.
The priority is not on the master data alone.
Mhm.
It's on both the master data and the invoice. That feature has to be selected on both windows. But
Yes.
but for ordinary payments without payment method supplement, the priority is on the master data, such that even though you don't select a payment term in the invoice, and you have it in the master data, the system will process it.
Yes, that's right.
But for payment method supplement, if you have it in the master data and don't have it in the invoice, the payment will not process it. Why? What is payment supplement? Payment supplement, you're telling the system that you want to pay a group of vendors within, is that supplement that will group those vendors according to invoice, so that the system can pay. If you have it in master data and you don't have it in the invoice, how will the system know the group of invoices that he wants to make payment for? So that's
okay.
Yeah, that's why.
If you have it in the master data.
Yeah, you have
but
to
it's gonna
have
be,
it.
but it comes up on the invoice by default.
That's
but you're
what
saying,
I'm
okay, you're saying if the invoices were already posted.
Yes.
Before you activated it.
Yes, I'm saying that if it's not reflecting both in the invoice and the master data, then
Yes.
you were going to have a problem with. That's why when they were doing F110, there was no output.
Oh, okay. So there's no way. So the only way to do it would be to go in and select them one by one.
Yeah. So what they are trying to do, they want to know if they do mass change.
Yes, if they can do it for the payment method supplement.
Whether it will now also go automatically and
update the invoice.
Yeah. So the question is, will that happen? That may not happen. That will not happen.
Okay.
Because it was supposed to do that at the point of creating invoice.
I'm even surprised that you can actually change the payment method in the vendor master after the invoice has posted.
Remember now, when you want to do F110, it's not there. It won't work.
You can
now.
Put it in.
You can change it back and do it. The problem is that
right.
Supplement is different. The functionality is different.
Okay.
If you don't have it on the both places, then you have an issue. That's just
Look at that.
So they're asking if they can use that same method for payment method and do it in supplement. Whether that thing will also, whether they can be able to process, but they will not be able to process. That option has to be ticked in the invoice.
It has to go on the invoice.
Yeah. So it's easy to test it. They don't even need to do mass to know.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to do mass. Pick one vendor that has payment term and payment supplement. Pick the invoice that doesn't have payment supplement. Do F110, try to run it. You will see it to throw up the error. So it means that the master data can have all the supplement, but as long as it is not ticked on that invoice, you have issues with processing it.
Okay.
So instead of doing mass, they don't need to do mass for it to work.